In this video, we start our longest airline pilot trip ever, 12 days. We fly down south to Colombia, and for the first time ever, I have a special guest join me mid-trip for all of my layovers.
And wait, what is this? Right when I land in Miami to start my 48-hour layover?
Ready? Buckle up. Let's go fly.
Beautiful people, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Pete. Some call me Pilot Pete. I'm Boeing 767 airline pilot, and we're back to work. I think I had 12 days off scheduled, no vacation, nothing used, just time off. Which is why I always tell people, become an airline pilot is the best job in the world. We're about to start an 11-day trip. It's a long one. No, I'm not on the 777. I'm on the 767. We're doing a South America tour here, back and forth from Miami and Colombia, pretty much the entire trip. We got a lot to catch up on. We had a system bid at my company where contract negotiations are over, and we have a TA out, tentative agreement, and it's in voting right now, so I'll explain that. We got a special trip, just trip alone. I'm very excited for because I have a very special guest and gonna make this trip even that much better. But right now we're running a little bit behind. Our bags packed, our uniforms on. The trip started with the deadhead down here. I came in last night to Miami, Florida, and we're about to head to the airport. Oh, what's up, man? Hey, how you doing? Good, nice to see you. We're about to head to the airport, 4-hour flight down to Colombia to start the trip. So I'll see you guys in the Miami ramp, and we'll catch up on all things we need to catch up on.
Good to see you here. It's been a while since we've been together.
Beautiful people from the ramp in Miami, Florida. We just pre-flighted the 767. She's all set to go for our first flight of many this trip down to Bogota, Colombia. Love getting to an airplane that's fully loaded, rocking and rolling, ready to go. Just linked up with the captain, checked over the weather. Some weather in Bogota, which is kind of the normal every time we fly down there. There's always kind of thunderstorms in the area. So we got two alternates, one of Barranquilla and one of Medellin. But again, very, very slim chance we actually use it. All it means is just extra fuel on this 767 for our 3-hour and 45-minute flight down. So windy, hot, beautiful day in Miami. I'm excited to get this trip going. It's gonna be a long one. Let's make it a good one. Time to go fly.
We won't be using it today or any of our flights, but I always like to show it for those who are new to the 7.6. This is our sleeping quarters. So we're not using it because there's only 2 crew members on board today's flight, myself and the captain. And it's not a long flight. Like I said, 3 hours, 45 minutes. So this is the rest area. If you were using it, this is an E-Tops airplane. But again, we won't be using it. I just have to pre-flight it, check all the bells and whistles, make sure it's good to go, even though we're not using it. Part of my duties as an FO to make sure everything's good, which it is. And then we're gonna jump in the seat, build our nest, and before you know it, we'll be on our way.
You gotta feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I will rock this you. Out.
6-1 for me.
Hola from Bogota, Colombia. We made it. The 3.5-hour journey. Bogota never fails. Always the same. Weather on descent, weather on arrival, weather on approach. It's just the same thing every single time we come in here. But good flight. Pretty unique. The captain actually speaks fluent Spanish, so that helps with radio communications, because that's probably like one of the threats coming into Bogota for a gringo like myself with no hablo español is they're just speaking rapid Spanish, but when they speak to you, they have a little bit of an accent. It's kind of broken English at best. But yeah, flew the arrival and a little bumpy here and there, some storms to deviate around, but we made it safe and sound, runway 14 right. So this trip, although good flying, good international, good pay, good everything, it's a great trip. What I failed to do was remember two things. One, Memorial Day weekend, but to be fair, I actually didn't know it was Memorial Day weekend. I just realized one of the layovers, which I'll show you here in a second, is a long one in Miami. I figured, hey, let's just spend a paid Memorial Day weekend in Miami and fly SJ down. The thing I screwed up on was High Rocks. If you're not sure what High Rocks is, it's like a fitness competition. Sonia and I did it last year in New York City. It's a lot of fun. And we had our scheduled tickets for Thursday the 28th. And I totally blanked. I bid for this trip. I got this trip and everything is great about it, minus the fact that we now have to miss this High Rocks competition. So here it is, the 12-day trip that covers the Deadhead. Left from New York on Wednesday, got to Miami on Thursday, and you can see all the different layovers, Miami, Bogota, Miami, Bogota, Miami, Bogota, and it goes all the way to the 31st on Sunday. So this was the High Rocks day on the 28th. Total bummer that I'm missing that, but it is what it is. I actually tried dropping this trip 40 times, 50 times. I put it up for grabs for the pilot group to grab. No one wanted it, probably because of how long it is and because it's over Memorial Day weekend. And then I also tried to drop it, but the company would not allow me to do that. And that's because they're claiming that we have insufficient reserves. So that's how you basically pilots can get rid of their trips, is either another pilot picks it up because they want to do it, or the company allows you to drop it because they say, hey, we have plenty of reserve pilots, we'll let them fly. Essentially kind of saves them money because they're paying the reserves to sit at home and they can let those reserves fly that trip without any extra pay. And then I drop my trip and don't make that pay. But anyway, wasn't able to do it. It is what it is. Just sometimes it just falls that way. So my bad, Sonia. Sorry for not being able to do High Rocks doubles, but we figured out another way to have some fun with High Rocks. But back to the trip, 11-day trip. Like I said, we just did the first and only flight today down to Bogota. We lay over tonight. We lay over all day tomorrow. Then we have a 5 a.m. departure on Saturday. Land in Miami around 11 a.m. That's where my special guest is going to join me. Then we have half day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then Memorial Day Monday. We fly Miami to Bogota, and we pretty much do that exact same thing. But land in Bogota, lay over all day Bogota, fly to Miami, lay over Miami, fly to Bogota, lay over Bogota, fly to Miami. 6 o'clock local, gonna grab a quick little bite around the hotel because it's a little dark and rainy already. It's getting a little chilly here. It's warming up in the States, but getting a little chilly down in South America. So I'll make it quick, I'll make it light, and we'll just have a laid back first night here in Bogota.
Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata.
Good morning from Bogota, Colombia, ladies and gentlemen. Last night ended up getting a little bit hungry, so texted the captain and we actually linked up for dinner. It's nice going out to dinner with someone that's bilingual and speaks the language very well. And he knew a place, he's been here a few times like I have. Going to it, a chain, crepes and waffles. And I was like, crepes for dinner, but they have like the savory ones with chicken and rice and all that stuff. So I did that for dinner and we just chatted, got to know each other a little bit better. So it was nice. Then came home, watched the Knicks go up 2-0. Let's go. On my iPad, that was nice to see them take a W. And went to bed, didn't sleep though. The altitude here, it's hard to explain. So I'm not like out of breath unless I'm running or working out, but it's just, I guess, like sleeping, your brain doesn't get as much oxygen as it's used to. So I sleep terrible. And now it's mental in my head. I don't know. So I slept awful. Tried to sleep in a little bit, but ended up going down for breakfast at like 8 a.m. local time. They have a good breakfast here at the hotel. So did that. Just got off the FaceTime with SJ, did some work on the laptop, and now we're about to hit our non-negotiable leg day today. So we'll head down to the dungeon here at the hotel fitness center. It's in the basement. It's dark. It's kind of gloomy. I got a phone call later. Then, I told you I have a bunch of updates. Or one of them, I guess, shall be the bids. It opened when we started our Hawaii trip and it closed when we were in Hawaii. And another kind of what I call BS bid, meaning it wasn't based on seniority. It's about like min-man maxing. It had nothing to do with the MD-11 that is not flying, but supposed to be back to flying. That's another update I guess I could give you guys. But the bid opened. I put in my normal preferences. So number 1, 777 captain. There's no way I'm senior enough to get that, but you always bid for what you want, not what for you can hold, because you never know what could happen. So 777 captain, 76 captain, and then 777 FO, and then 76 FO, which I'm currently at. So it's always pretty much my bid. It'll probably stay that way for the foreseeable future. And the bid closed, and I did not get it. I got stuck where I'm at. So honestly though, like I've said before, when other bids have come and gone, it is what it is. This is like a good taste of a 777 trip. It's a 12-day trip. It's fine. It is what it is. I'm not worried about it. Supposedly there's another bid coming out once our contract passes. If it does pass, there'll be another update I'll give you guys here later in this video. And yeah, didn't get anything. 767, I'm here to stay, which I'm happy with. This is what I mean by the dark dungeon. It's all the way in the basement. I guess not as dark as I remember. There are lights. Got a lap pool over there, and then decent equipment in kilograms. Leg day, so I'll just be using this squat machine.
Told me her name was Billie Jean, and she crossed the scene. Then heavy head turned the eyes to dream of being the one who would dance around.
I forgot how out of breath I get working out at that gym. I did like a normal leg workout and freaking huffing and puffing with that altitude. But a beautiful day here in Bogota, Colombia. The sun is out, getting tan from the elevation. So we're on our way to go grab some food. But I wanted to talk about the MD-11. A lot of people have asked me questions about that. If you don't know, UPS had a tragic loss on takeoff, and they decided to ground all the airplanes, and UPS made the decision to ground them indefinitely, like they're never flying again. Our company has decided to listen to the FAA, NTSB, Boeing, and they have decided to fly them again. So we've been flying a lot of mechanics to a bunch of the outstations. So I think there's like 7 or 8 MD-11s in Memphis. Then there's one in Newark, one in Miami. I just saw it yesterday. They're all over the place. One in LAX. And it's crazy to be going to the ramps and seeing what they're doing as far as like taking the entire engines off, the pylons. Like you'll see literally, if you go back to my old LAX vlog, you'll see a MD-11 with no engines on the wings. So they had to do this maintenance procedure that I'm not obviously versed on. They're building a new part. They're making sure that that accident obviously never happens again. And all the mechanics we've talked to have said that they inspected every single one, which is going to be required by the FAA to do. And each engine was fine, was secure, was no cracking, no fatiguing. However, they still had to add this extra part to make sure that this never happens again. So those pilots, the MD-11 pilots at my company, haven't worked 5.5, 6 months, and they're getting paid. So the way our contract works, they get min guarantee, and that's basically exactly what it sounds like. Every month we get a minimum guarantee of hours, and they're getting that min guarantee. It's between 68 and like 75 hours of pay, and they just get to sit at home and travel and do whatever they want. So it would be my dream. I would love to get paid 75 hours and not actually have to work, but it looks like they're going to come back online here any day, any week, and start flying again. And they'll obviously have to get those pilots up to speed on like training, but that's what they've been doing. They've been, even though they haven't been flying, they've been going to the simulator every couple of weeks or months, every 90 days to keep current with their landing. So when planes are back online, it's full speed ahead. So there's your MD-11 update, a lot of internal memos and stuff like that. But again, I don't concern myself too much with it in the sense that I don't fly the MD-11. But the one thing that does concern me is if we weren't going to fly them again, all those pilots would then have to go to another airplane. Obviously, some would come to the 7.6, and that would affect my seniority. So that was kind of like the thing I was worried about most. But they're flying again soon, so we'll go find some lunch here in Bogota and grub out. Struggled mightily with lunch. It was one of those press to order your food kind of fast casual places, and obviously I don't read or understand Spanish, but the first part was asking me to enter a cell phone. So I made up a number. I found the Bogota hotel number, tried my own number, nothing was working. Line was backing up. Eventually I just asked the person, I was like, hey, do you have a cell phone number I could put in? So the lady was nice enough, she put hers in. Her name was Laura, so that's how like my order went through. And then when they called the order finally, they said Laura. I walked up and they looked at me like I was wacko. Like that I was trying to steal a meal, but luckily Laura was nearby and she's like, no, that's his. He just used my cell phone number. So a little bit of a language barrier to say the least. We survived. We ate. Now we're just gonna walk around our area a little bit, soak up some sun, get some steps in. Tomorrow's wake up isn't too bad. I think it's like going to be around 3:45 a.m., which is a lot better than the normal like 11:30 p.m. So I don't have to set an alarm. We got an alert call, which just means the ramp calls us an hour prior to our ground transportation show, which is really nice. So if the plane's delayed or there's maintenance or weather, we can just keep sleeping. So we'll get woken up when we get woken up.
La casa del merengue, la 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 la, y la casa de la bachata. Hey!
So for the month of June, I got awarded a secondary line or VTO line. Every airline has a different kind of name for it. We call it secondary or VTO. And essentially what that is there's a regular line. So you basically get your schedule about a month in advance. It's usually about 3 weeks in advance. And it shows you exactly what trips you're doing, what days you're flying, what days you're off, where your layovers are, how much you're gonna make, all that good stuff. That's what's called a line holder. And then what the other one is called a reserve pilot, which is basically the same thing, but you get just basically what days you're on reserve and what time period you're on reserve. So at my company, we have RA and RB. RA is from midnight to 12 noon. RB is 12 noon to midnight. And then you just basically get which days you're on call, which days you're on reserve. Those guys and girls get their schedule, like I said, about 3.5 weeks prior to the new month starting. Secondary line holders, which is what I've been getting for a majority of my career at this company, is a hodgepodge. So essentially, we bid for a secondary line, which says, hey, if I don't get any of these top preferences, if I don't get Bogota and Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Dublin, well, I also don't want reserve. What I want is secondary lines. Why would you want to do that, Pete? Well, what happens in the secondary lines is all those pilots that were awarded those trips that either have vacation or training or conflict with another trip from a previous month, it all drops into this hodgepodge pool, this secondary pool. In this secondary pool, you then have seniority within that pool. Hopefully this is kind of making sense. I know it's a lot of jargon, but I essentially have artificial seniority within this secondary pool, which is what I'm bidding for now. So I go into this interface called SLG Crew. It's pretty old school. It doesn't really do much. And here it goes. I'll show you what it looks like. My relative seniority within this secondary June bid pack is 20 out of 92. So I'm bidding 22%. The min credit hours that I have to build my schedule up to is 72. The max is 83 hours. And then based on all these preferences that I put in and what trips I want, this will show kind of in here and how it'll rank amongst other people bidding. So kind of, sort of, I'm bidding 22% as a 767 FO, which is really high, it'd be great, but only within those secondary trips. So it's a little bit of a game. Some people thrive on it. Some people do good. Some people do bad. It changes month to month. There's 19 pilots ahead of me. So I have to put in, at least 19 choices to see what I get. And that's exactly how secondary line works. You can also get reserve on that, but I'll put that as like my number one preference. Do not give me reserve. I don't want to be reserve, and I don't want to deal that whole game. So I'll only put in for flying preferences, and usually it comes out 50-50. Half the schedule I usually like, half of it I don't. And that's exactly what we do. The biggest con with secondaries, I don't get my schedule until 3 days prior to the bid month. So May 28th, I get my schedule for June 1st, which is not great if you want to plan weddings or vacations or need babysitters for your kids or whatever. So a lot of times guys and girls are like, look, I could do better in secondary, but I don't want to mess with it because I need at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks heads up of what I'm going to be flying. So it's a game within a game within a game. Ended up just doing dinner here at the hotel. They actually have like 3 or 4 restaurants. Did some Asian cuisine stir fry. It was good. But getting ready for bed, got to pack up. It's always a fun part. You unpack just to repack as an airline pilot. And like I said, no alarm because this will ring an hour prior to show. I think it's a very cool system we have international. I wish, the only complaint I have, because I'm an airline pilot, I got to complain about something. I wish I could schedule when I want that call. So our sleep rooms, if you ever watch any of my videos, sleep rooms in Indy or Memphis, we can say, hey, I want the wake up call, the alert call to happen 12 minutes, 15, 30, 45 minutes, an hour and 15 prior. International calls, the ramp in the country you're in, aka Bogota, Colombia, will call us an hour prior because I don't need an hour to get ready. 30 minutes would be perfect, but it is what it is. So I think it's like 3:45 a.m. it's going to happen. Currently time is 7:12. So not too shabby. I'll watch a little Netflix and I'll go to bed. So overall, a good little Bogota day. Glad I got some sun. I'm excited to fly to Miami for my 48-hour layover. But first things first, we got 2 legs ahead of us in the morning. We're going to be going Bogota, Medellin to Miami. So I'll see you at the wake-up call.
Que salimos del suelo y abrimos el mirar
Good morning, beautiful people from the ramp here in Bogota, Colombia. We just pre-flighted the 767. She's all set to go for our first leg of 2 today. We're going Bogota to Medellin. The flight time's about 27 minutes. It's super, super quick. It'll be my leg to fly. What we like to do here in Bogota, since that flight is so short, is we actually brief not only the takeoff and departure out of here, but also the arrival and approach into Medellin, just because everything happens quick. The language barrier is usually weather. Thankfully today there's not, and we'll get going into to Medellin. Thankfully the airport's open. Thankfully I got some sleep. I'm feeling good, but this will be my first landing in a 7-6 in like 13-14 days, and it's at night in a tricky airport, so stay tuned to see what we got. And then our second longer leg will be Medellin to Miami, which I'll be pilot monitoring. But first things first, 28,000 feet on our way to Medellin. Let's go fly.
Vamos en aliento, con silencio en el pulmón y el tiempo se borró. Somos el fuego, somos la mano, creamos el sueño, hicimos el plano, nacidos del cielo, paridos del llano. Somos el fuego, somos la mano.
Hola from Medellin. First time being in this city with daylight. We're always landing, if you watch any of my previous Colombia videos, around like 1 a.m. But with the runway construction going on, we can't land till after 5. So sun's up, nice to see it. Feel a lot less tired than I usually am when I'm pre-flighting here in Medellin. But we just cleared customs here in Medellin. We have to get off the airplane, drive over to the passenger terminal, get our passports looked at, go through security, and then get driven back. It's a silly procedure, but we clear customs here in Medellin instead of Bogota. But landing runway 1 is a good flight. It's funny though, what they do in Colombia, ATC, is a little bit different than how they do in the US. We were number 3 for takeoff, waiting up for departure off runway 14 right. And ATC says to us, hey, after the 737 in front of you, line up and wait. And we're like, huh? So basically how it works in America is they won't tell you to line up and wait until an airplane is moving. We were a solid 4 minutes prior to even having be our turn, and they're telling us to line up and wait. It's just a little bit different procedures, but nothing hard or anything that we have to really overthink. Took off, made a right turn, came to north of Medellin, and then they made us slow down because we had airplanes to follow, and landed runway 1. My landing, first one back. I thought it was going to be a nighttime landing, but I forgot that the sun was going to be up, and I'm going to go with like an 8.2. Very, very smooth. The only issue is we floated past the kind of touchdown exact numbers where we want to touch down, but otherwise very good. So we'll pre-flight all complete, and then we got about 3.5 hours up to Miami. I'm hoping to turn and burn. We got a special guest that I think might be waiting for me when I get there. So let's go fly to Miami.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
We just landed safely in Miami, and we just cleared customs, and now we're headed to our hotel. And wait, what is this? Right when I land in Miami to start my 48-hour layover? Whoa, hello. Hello. Hello from the Miami hotel. And yes, we have a special guest. So that's the special surprise. It's Memorial Day weekend. And like I said, I got stuck with this trip because I couldn't drop it, and we had that High Rocks thing. So Sonia, we booked her a confirmed flight with points down to Miami. She landed about an hour prior to us. And then, as you could see in the video, got to see us land and taxi in, which she thought was pretty cool. Even though I wasn't the one landing, what's the grade?
10.
Nice, nice, nice. So we got a 48-hour layover here in South Beach. There's an air show going on. We got a lot to do, a lot to keep us occupied. And then she's actually flying with me on, not with me, but same day to Bogota, which will be really cool. So it's the first time I've had someone kind of follow along on my trips with me. So that'll be kind of cool. But unfortunately, she can't fit in one of the boxes. So we booked her on a different airline. But for now, it's time to enjoy 48 hours in Miami.
You gotta love when a hotel has free e-bikes for you to rent. So they just give you a discount code for 2 freaking e-bikes for an hour. So SJ and I are going to get some lunch. Beautiful hot day in Miami. What a great way to start a 48-hour layover. Hey, never said airline pilots have a hard job. I don't know what they're flying, but I kind of like it. Bike ride to lunch was fantastic, and we couldn't have picked a better weekend. Not only Memorial Day, we're on South Beach. But look at this, folks. Inbound coming. Freaking air show. Miami South Beach Air Show. We got pretty lucky, I'll say that. Day one of the layover in South Beach. Perfect. Umbrella, sand. How cool was that air show?
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed.
Sonia is officially the biggest fan of
The T-Birds.
the Thunderbirds, which is part of what military branch?
The Air... No, not the Air Force. The Navy?
Which one?
The Navy. Which makes no sense to
That's
me.
the Blue Angels.
You told me today they were part of... Oh, that's the Maverick movie. I'm getting confused.
You're thinking of Top Gun.
Yeah. The T-Birds are part of the Air Force.
Yes, correct. And Sonia is obsessed, loves them, thought it was the coolest
They're so
thing
cool.
ever. I was like, I fly airplanes every day. I don't get this kind of obsession. But needless to say, a free air show just worked out perfectly. This trip has been great. The fact that I get 48 hours here, Sonia was joking, I can't believe you get paid to do this. So, but hey, someone's got to do it, right? We had a nice little taco dinner downtown South Beach, and now we're just walking home and gonna watch the Knicks, right?
Let's go Knicks.
But we're just walking home, calling it a night.
Oh no, we're gonna go get dessert.
Only because she's here. I'm trying to tell her, I'm like, hey, this isn't vacation. We can't be getting dessert every single night. This is work. I'm literally working. But no, super cool to be able to share it with SJ and be on a layover like we were saying. It's the first time I've ever had someone middle of the work trip kind of join me. So makes it that much more enjoyable. So I was walking straight home. That's all I wanted to do, get back to the hotel. But as the saying goes, happy girlfriend, happy life. So Da Vinci Gelato in South Beach to finish off the night. Oh baby, the waffle, the skillet, the gelato, the toppings. We're not messing around in Miami. Morning, day 2 here in Miami. It's Sunday, so you already know what that means. We're finding church. We got St. Patrick's Catholic Church. Starts in exactly 1 minute. So we're walking in, starting our Sunday the right way. God bless everyone. Beautiful day at church, beautiful day riding bikes for lunch. Now we're back to where we started, Miami South Beach, enjoying the air show. We just saw the C-17 fly by, one of the fighter jets. These things are sick, but hey, getting paid to land the beach, not too shabby layover.
Not a bad job.
Thunderbirds, biggest fan. We got the Thunderbirds.
Whoa.
Air show was a great success, but now you already know it's
non-negotiable.
That's right. We're gonna go get our miles in. It's a little rainy. You got clear skies over there. We got a little storm there, but we're gonna crank out some miles on South Beach. And tomorrow we're doing a special workout. Tomorrow's actually Memorial Day, so we'll be doing the Murph challenge. You don't know what that is? It's a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, finished by a mile run. So we're doing that tomorrow on the beach. But today we're gonna do a little light workout. Sonia's gonna do about 4 miles. I'm gonna do about 6, and we're gonna get after it. So nice workout. It's always a great way to move your body, folks. Let's go. Update. It's pouring, so we got a little bit wet, and now we're taking cover before we get our miles in. But don't you worry, we're gonna get them in, folks. Rain or shine. Florida rain though is pretty brutal. All right, I told you, rain's gone. Sneakers are back on. It's non-negotiable. Let's go hit some miles. 6 miles in the books, and now it is time to feast our last dinner in Miami. SJ, and look, surprise guest who's also been on this program before, Mr. Brandon, another pilot that I flew with back in the day. And then Sonia, right for the bread. And we went with the steak, the fish, and the fish at Ocean Grill,
You got the lamb
South
chops.
Beach. Lamb chops, Ocean Grill, South Beach.
Wonderful, full day. This is the best layover ever. Not just because SJ's here, that's obviously a huge part, but being able to see friends. I actually went to flight school with Brandon at ASU. He's now a captain at a legacy airline, flying the A320. We got to see the air show on the beach. We got tan, good food, and it's great. But tomorrow we have a 11:30 van time or pickup time to go to the airport. And in the morning, we're getting our non-negotiable in early, 7 a.m. We set our alarms for 6 a.m. We're doing the Murph. So I explained what that was, the mile, the 1, 2, 3, 100, 200, 300, and then finish with the mile. I've never done it. Sonia's never done it. She can't even do a pull-up, and we have to do 100 pull-ups. We're gonna have to try to figure that out. But we're gonna go to bed, it's pretty late. It's actually 11 o'clock. Mom and dad are up late here in Miami because I think we're so ecstatic. We're having such a good time. So we'll go to bed, get some sleep, and then tomorrow we will crush the Murph workout. What do you think your time's gonna be?
An hour 30?
I'm gonna go for sub 110 for Pilot Pete.
Then I'm like 2 hours.
You might be.
I can't even do a pull-up.
So anyway, wish us luck, and we'll report back tomorrow what our time was, and then the work trip. It feels weird that we're on a work trip.
I know.
On a work trip.
It's so fun.
It's been so fun. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Happy Monday, happy Memorial Day, folks, from Miami South Beach. We're showing up at CrossFit Miami to let the Murph rip. It's bright and early. Well, actually, truthfully, we slept through the 7 a.m. one. We shut off our alarms, and we're gonna do the 8:31 and get after it. 1 mile, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats. It's non-negotiable. Let's go.
Be careful who you love, and be careful what you do. Let the lie become the truth. Hey, to be a genius, not my love. She just sit there, claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. No. To be a genius, not my love. She just sit there, claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. No.
Murph complete sub 60. We did it in 57 minutes and 58 seconds. I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. I don't do those CrossFit HIIT style workouts, so that was tough. That was very, very tough. Sonia also finished sub 60. How'd you feel?
Oh my gosh, my arms were like quivering, but I'm proud of myself. And we did it for all the right reasons, remembering those who serve for us.
Yes, so for all those out there, past, current, and future military men and women, we thank you for your service. The Murph, if you haven't done before, highly recommend. Go to your home gym, do it, join a class. That was awesome. But currently 10 o'clock, we get picked up at 11:30. I gotta go fly 4 hours to Bogota. Sonia's gotta go sit in the airplane for 4 hours, also to Bogota. So this layover ain't stopping. We're gonna keep the train rolling, folks. Choo choo. On our way to the Miami airport, so I'm gonna hand it over to SJ. This is your chance to ask the pilot right before your flight, doing the same route, doing the same thing. So what questions do you have as a normal muggle that maybe some viewers might have as well?
Is there going to be any turbulence that I should be expecting?
So I can't show the jet charts, but I showed them to Sonia and showed her the turbulence, and no, it's gonna be a pretty smooth ride. You're gonna enjoy your flight down to Bogota.
And then how do pilots land in Bogota when it's at 8,000 feet high?
Yes, so the elevation there is high. It's about 8,000 feet. It'll be my leg to fly, and we land the same. It's just little things that throughout our career and training we've gotten to understand, like density, altitude is a lot higher. The airplane reacts slower, so the power, the flight controls, everything happens a little bit slower. So you have to pay attention to that. You're going to carry a little bit more speed, and then eventually you're just going to make sure that when you do reduce power on landing, you don't do it as normally would do in like Miami or New York, because we're going to slam down. So nice and easy, and and we'll grease it on. We're gonna go for above a 9.
Sounds good.
Miami layover in the books. How was it?
So fun.
So great 48-hour layover. SJ got to join me, and now we're in the ride on the way to the airport to get dropped off. Unfortunately, she can't fly with Pilot Pete. And yes, I did cut myself shaving. That's what this is there for. 3-hour and 10-minute flight to Bogota. SJ is flying on an A321 Ivanka down to Bogota, and then when she clears customs, I'll be there waiting for her. So Miami trip was a great success. The fun's gonna continue, but this video is gonna come to an end because we gotta get it to the editor and we gotta enjoy some Bogota relaxation. Can't make this video 4 hours long, but as always, hope you enjoyed coming along for the ride. Love you guys. Comments, questions, drop them below.
Make sure to subscribe.
And we'll see you on the next video.